getting themselves into on this Freaky Friday. You already know we right here at work decided to hop on, chop it up with individuals. It's a nice, breezy, beautiful day in Southern California. You know what I mean? Nice weather. Not that hot, actually. Sorry, the temperature is actually beautiful. Perfect night to be out and about and, getting into mayhem. Now, if you do go out, stay safe. But, decided to hop on, chop it up with individual. You know what the talk of the town is going down. The word on the curve, you heard me. Whoopsie. I have to set this up real quick. Okay, there we go. We Gucci now. Yeah, but what's good with everybody? Now, I wanted to start the discussion by I was talking to an individual, right? He had told me, how do you know when somebody, is truly sorry for what they have done, right? Like, nowadays people want to pretend like they know how to read minds and shit like that. Like, if somebody apologizes and people saying that that's bullshit, like, how do they truly know? Well, when somebody has the problem of, continuing to do the same thing over and over and over again, right? A pattern of this type of behavior, then of course everyone has the right to be skeptical of, the person's intentions or apology in general, right? So people can't even be upset about because you have broken promises over and over and over again, right? And taken advantage, right? So how do people know that you're truly sorry? Well, the best thing I could say is that don't say it, show it. You know what I mean? Like, you could tell people you're sorry, but what would be better instead of saying you're sorry is actually proving that you're sorry, you know, by actually changing your behavior and actually sticking to what you're saying, right? Like, don't tell these individuals what you're gonna do or whatever. Just show them, and they'll gain your trust. You'll gain their trust eventually, right? But by your actions, because people can say that they're sorry, and then people, don't accept the apology. Then the individual gets mad, and he's like, "Why the fuck do I even try?" And it goes back to his old behaviors. Like, well, if you were truly sorry, you wouldn't have gone back to the old behaviors in general, right? So that already, just stuff like that already goes to show that they were never truly sorry to begin with. Your actions will forever speak louder than your words. No matter how good you may tell the apology and, you know, you articulate it and how well you sprinkle it, your actions will forever speak louder than your words. You know, people say that they're good people and humble people and that they do this for whatever reasons, but yet their characters, the character they display is the opposite. So it's like, yeah, and that's how people know that people are be full of shit. What's cracking like it, Mr. Pasa? What you getting yourself into? Ishi? Dice la buena vida. What's cracking, Derek? What you getting yourself into, my boy? I'm at my girlfriend's house. That's right, my boy. Good shit. Shout out to Telly. Damn, Telly, I haven't seen you in a while, my boy. Where you been at? Tell me Telly is definitely in the building. Top 3 movies? Black Hawk Down. Black Hawk Down. Which other one do I like? Saving Private Ryan? But why did I put that as my top? Black Hawk Down. Shutter Island. I'm a big fan of Shutter Island. I like, mystery movie. Oh no, what was the name of that fucking movie, man? Shit, I forgot the name of it. It's a really good movie though. I have to look it up. But it's a guy who has memory problems, right? Like, he has a hard time remembering, so he has to tattoo the information on him. That way he doesn't forget it. What the fuck was the name of that movie, man? I like that movie though. That movie was good. He's a guy who has memory problems and he has to tattoo the shit on him. That way he doesn't forget, right? And he's trying to piece together a story. But that shit is chingon. Memento! There you go! Fucking Teddy came through. That, I like those kind of movies. Shit that, you gotta give some thought to, right? Like, shit that makes you think, Not shit that kills brain cells. I mean, don't get me wrong. I enjoy action movies, like, was it the Avengers and like the Transformers, like the Bad Boys, like explosion shit like that. Yeah, that's cool too. you know. But I'm more of a documentary type person. I know people think that those shits are boring. I love documentaries because that's real life. It's not fake. It's real events. That's why I prefer this, because this is actual shit that actually happened, right? Like documentaries on serial killers and shit like that. That's what interests me. Like real life, the true horror of man and what has actually happened, not what's pretend. You know what I mean? And I know people aren't fans of that. Like, oh, that shit's boring, whatever. And you're educated. You're educating yourself as. You gotta. You got skinnier since the last time you met? Serio? You know what? Nah. Actually, I have actually gained weight. Getting ready for work payday. That's right. Have you ever watched Full Metal Jacket? Yeah, I actually watched Full Metal Jacket. That was cool. Oh, you know what? I actually like comedies too. Like I like the Naked Gun. Sounds good. With that one fucking actor, that older fool. That was funny. Sup. What's cracking like my boy? You are thinking of 51st Days. Nah, but I actually like that one too. That's the one with Adam Sandler, no? I dig Adam Sandler's movies. Uh, Watching should play. That for wood. Like, bro, you gotta have this type of attitude when you hit the joint. If you want to get killed. Like, don't please nobody take that guy's advice, please. You won't survive. As a matter of fact, everything he says, do the opposite. He's a character. But of course, he wants to put up that image that he's tough, that he's a tough guy, that he's tough, that he survived because he's down and he's tough. That's what he wants. He wants people to see him as a tough guy. Like, yes, Watson, you're the toughest guy out there, bro. Yes, you beat up everybody. Nobody could beat you up. Nobody's on your level. You are the most gangsterish. Yes. There. Can you sleep at night now? He will now be at peace. What up, Jose George Hernandez de la Cruz Cardenal? You forgot. And you know, with the trip, that there's people that actually have sick ass names like that. Like their names are like long as fuck. Hey, but so do French people too. I noticed that shit too. Like 10 seconds just to say his whole name. Like, fuck. I'm going to have to watch that. Thriller is my favorite. Oh, so you like, okay, the thriller ones? All right. Yeah, I feel you. Thrillers are cool too. Was it like, well, see, that's actually why I prefer the documentaries, right? Like on some sick ass events that have happened, because, I mean, we're talking about gruesome shit that's real, like, it's real shit with real survivors and everything. And I don't know, I just feel like that shit it hits different, right? Because you know that these people really existed, and people really went through what, all this. So it's fucking crazy. Are you a part of a gang? Yes, I am. I don't recommend it. Stay in school and you get nothing out of the streets, but yes. Let's see. Oh, older guy. Oh, there you go. Yeah. Leslie, there you go. He's cool. I like his movies. He's funny. His earlier stuff, right? Because then, his later films started going into the shithole of comedy that we have nowadays, right? Where every joke's about a penis and a vagina. All the jokes became sexual now. Like there's no they give no thought to their jokes no more. Like everything's a penis joke or a pussy joke, and it's like, yes, that was funny. You said dick. I get it. But other jokes are now sexual, bro. I don't know if people have noticed that. And it's like, it's a lack of creativity. Like, imagine when these motherfuckers were making people laugh and they weren't even allowed to curse or use, shit that's like, I guess you can see as taboo, right? But yeah, they were still funny as fuck. Nowadays, you tell these comedians to try to be like, they won't be able to do it, bro. They'll have no clue. They'll be stumped. They were like, damn, a joke without saying like something sexual or cursing? Like, fuck. They'll be like, yeah, I'm out. And it's like, well, that's how comedians were doing it back then. What's puto? It's an insult. Song of Man, my favorite books. Orale, all right. You recommend that or what? My friend is back. That's cool. How's your evening going, brother? It's going great. How about yours? De la olla. That's a sick ass name, huh? Do you believe in science or God? I believe in science. I'm not religious or, I don't like. Not that I have anything against people that are religious, right? And those who are believers of God, right? Because I understand the concept behind, religion. And I understand that it's has done a lot of good things for humanity, right? And that people just need something. So, I don't go and disrespect those, right? Like other atheists do, I guess you could say, right? Like, I let everyone be, right, and respect everybody's beliefs, right? But I'm just somebody that believes in science and proof. You know what I mean? Have you ever watched the movie Vertigo, where suffers from the fear of? No, I haven't, bro. Is that a good one or what? Can you give a shout out to my friend? So you recommend Vertigo? I never even heard of that one. Vertigo. But I like movies like that, like that one, like The Butterfly Effect. That one's pretty cool too. Probably the only movie I like with what's that fool's face? The guy from that '70s show. What's his fucking? The guy from You Got Punked or whatever. I forgot his fucking name. The flaquillo guy, the skinny guy, the one from Dude, Where's My Car? That fucker. What the fuck was his name, man? Sam? No. Or Vince? I don't know. I give up. But that fool. Probably the only movie I like of his. Have you ever came across a GD? Gangster Disciple? No. But I actually have cousins who stay out in Chicago who are from Chicago set gangs, right? From the Latin what was it, the Latin Maniac Disciples or whatever, right? So, but he tells me about like everything that like how it goes down over there, whatever. And it's just like it's true because it's similar to here, right? Like meaning in the streets, like in the street aspect of things, right? And it's a trip because I hear a lot of people say like that the gangs over there like try to be black or that they're not prideful to be raza and stuff like that. But at least when I talk to my primo and his homies and stuff like that, they're like just like us, like they talk in Chicano and in Spanish and stuff like that, right? Don't get me wrong, yes, they do dive in more into the brothers form of lingo, right? But not to say that they don't speak Spanish or that they don't like being Mexican. They're prideful in that shit too. You know what I mean? But people, I guess, assume, right? That like, oh, nah, that these fools are trying to be like this and that. When it's like, nah, fool. Like these fools get brown pride and Mexican and all that on them, just like out here. You know what I mean? But it's like, it's just that people want them to be exactly like over here, right? And if they're not, then they're fake, Mexicans. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense when you try to like they're not representing Chicanos or Mexicanos right. Like, what's the right way to represent Mexicanos? I never heard of such a thing. It's so stupid. Like, what's the proper way to represent? My guy says, you know it all. I seen Mexicans come in all different ways, bro. You know. So what does that even mean? Like, people are gonna represent however they choose to represent. You know, like, just because someone looks different than you doesn't mean that they're not prideful in their heritage, or have no, you know, knowledge on their heritage. You know, like, you don't know these people to automatically assume. There's people that look like these typical, like, oh, this was really is Chicano and raza, and know nothing about our fucking culture or our homeland or nothing. You know, yet they have brown pride tattooed on them with fucking have no idea about our people at all. And it's like, yeah, it's cool saying it and, you know, this and dressing the part or whatever. But what good is it if you don't have the knowledge? Then you're lying, bro. You're fronting. This one may not look it, but at least he knows. So who's the real raza? Who has the real pride? Come on now. Don't fall for the smoke and mirrors. You know, too many people, you know, want everything to go based off of looks, but looks deceive. And that's the reason why so many people lie and get away with it, and there's so many con artists, because people judge them but based on how they look. You know, that's always going to be the con man's, you know, bread and butter. That's how he gets everybody to fall for his fucking lies. He just got to look the part. Did you know the Texas Chainsaw was based on a true story? Oh yeah, on what's his name? Ed something. Ed he was a serial killer. Ed, I forgot his last name. But yeah, not fully based off of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, right? Like, he, you know, killed people and he made furniture and, you know, mask out of people's, you know, skin and stuff like that, right? But he wasn't like this big guy that would chase them with a chainsaw or nothing like that. You know what I mean? Most of his victims were women that he would sneak up behind them and, you know, get at them. So he wasn't like that, like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre guy, right? But they got the idea, you know, like Texas, the making the, you know, the stuff out of the people's flesh, like, you know, stuff like that. But the House of Horrors, and you can actually find the pictures of when the crime scene. It's fucking crazy and disgusting. Fucking body parts in jars all over the place. Fucking lamps made out of eyes and all kinds of shit. Hello, Mr. Latino man. Could you grow hair if you wanted to? Ese? Yeah, Simon. But I don't like hair. I have never liked hair. I get it. There's some people that love hair and stuff like that, so I understand, because a lot of people, you know, they're very careful with their hair, right? Like, if they would start losing their hair, it would be like the end of the world. I can't wait for that shit to start happening, bro. That way I don't have to shave so much. Like, fuck, it should be taking forever. We actually waiting for that shit to start happening. And especially nowadays, these fucking barber, they want like, how much? Like $70? Excuse me? And they still want a tip? Like, if you don't get the tip of this knife. Trying to rob me. That shit is crazy. And there's some that just go and get, like, you know, trim with the scissors. Like, they just cut like, and that's it. They're done. And it's like $45. Like, what? For that? What the hell? I don't know about that. But, you know, like, especially nowadays, people focus way too much on people's, like, looks and hairstyles and how they dress. Like my little homies don't dress nothing like, you know, like me and, like, the older homies, right? Whatever. But I don't view them any less just because they look different. Like, oh, they're weenies because they look like that. Like, yeah, okay, go tell them that. Go tell them that. Let's see what happens. Go let them know that. And then we'll see if what you're saying is true. I guarantee you they'll blow your top off. You know what I mean? But that's what I mean. See, it's all like the whole image thing is stupid. Like this fool looks like a weenie. Like, how does a weenie look like, bro? Like he looks like a square. Like, what? And just because he looks like a square doesn't mean he can't fight. He could be a fucking jujitsu master for all you know. Be a fucking black belt. You know what I mean? Like that is the most goofiest shit you could say. Like, bro, you don't know nothing about that person. He may look like he's a square. Have you seen some of these UFC fighters? You may think that they look nerdish, bro, but they'll be like fucking sick ass, you know, jiu-jitsu, taekwondo. You don't know these people. Like, bro, just shut up already. You know, I think movie has just rotted people's minds. I think that's what it is. Because, you know, when you're out there actually in the streets and bumping into people and, you know, shit actually really going down, you actually get to see life for what it truly is, right? Like, yeah, you thought that this shit was this way, but then it turns out the opposite, right? You know, there's homies that have called out, you know, regular average Joe, try to punk them. And then those individuals ended up whooping the homies' asses. And it's like, well, you shouldn't have rushed to conclusions, bro. Can't even be mad. That shit was a fair one-on-one, bro. Shit got nothing to do with the hood, my boy. He's calling you out. Better go and handle business. What's up? How's your day? Feed me. How about yours, my boy? I grew my hair out for 3 years, then cut it. That's right. I feel you. I have homies that have long hair too, you know what I mean? Them parties are overpriced for a fresh guy. Other parties. Oh, okay, yeah, bro, they are. Shit's crazy. Now I'm regrowing it so far. In 4 months. Oh, that's right, my boy. I feel you does, because there's some homies that love their hair, bro. Or like having long hair too. You know, just everyone's preference, you know, like some people like being boss, people like having hair. You know what I mean? Like I don't dwell on people's, you know, like I don't dwell on like what they choose to they choose to dress or have their hair. You know what I mean? Like I know other people focus in so much on that, like look at this fool's hair, dick, or look at this, and it's like, bro, why do you care so much, bro? Like why are you so infatuated with that? I don't get it. Like, God, dick, make fun of him. He has long hair. Like how's that even funny, bro? Oh, I don't know. Seems you want some attention, my guy. Okay, you're funny there. I told you. You feel better now? Yes, he's a loser and you're cool. Yes. There. Is that what you want to hear? It may sound like I'm being sarcastic, but that's literally that's why they play the scenario. That's literally what they want to happen. Yes, my guy. You're cool. They're lame. Yes. There. You can go to bed now. I went back to having hair in both. So it is in Texas. Usually gangsters are weak. Not to say that they're weak, right? But not to say that just because they're gangsters that they know how to fight or that they're gonna win the fights or anything like that, right? Like just because you're in a gang doesn't mean any of that, right? Like all of a sudden you get jumped into a gang and all of a sudden you become a black belt. Like you'll be able to whoop everybody's ass. It's not how it works. And that's not what's expected either. Like homies don't expect when you get down for you to win. You know what I mean? Like that's never expected. Like a homies are never expecting homies to go out there and win the fight. Homies are expecting homies not to let themselves. You know? To not back down and to handle business, whether they win or lose, as long as they don't let themselves. Don't let yourself. Is the point. Doesn't matter if you lost or whatever the fuck. Homies will clown like, hey, you got your ass, but in a friendly way, like just amongst homies, right? But you'll be embraced because you didn't let yourself get punked. You handled business. And can nobody take that from you or clown on you? Because a lot of people out there wouldn't handle business, but you didn't let yourself, so you stood on what you stood on, regardless if you got your ass whooped. You didn't let that fool walk all over you. You know, that's what people strive for. You get what I mean? Outcomes are irrelevant. Only those who have never been in fights, or want to make fun of people just because, I don't know, makes them feel better, will go and say that kind of stuff. But in all true reality, that's not the purpose. Like, hey, that fool lost a fight. He's a bitch. That fool can't fight. Mike Tyson has lost fights. Canelo, Muhammad Ali. Like, what? They can't fight? Conor McGregor, Brock Lesnar. Well, they can't fight? They bitches? They pussies? They have lost too? So does that mean that they weak and weenies? No, right? Because you win some, you lose some. That's the art of combat. You don't know what's going to happen out there. They could hit you in the right place and just knock you out. You have no idea what could potentially happen in a fight. Hence what happened with Mike Tyson and, Buster Douglas. You never know what's going to happen. He could trip, you stumble, you hit the wall by accident. But there's many things that could happen. So automatically assume you're going to whoop somebody's ass is reckless. That's why I never tell somebody I'm going to whoop their ass. I'll say, well, fuck it, we'll handle business, and we'll give it the best that we can, right? But to so recklessly say that, be doing this, like, relax, Mr. Tough Guy, acting like he's been in so many fights his life. Like, shut up, Goofy. Like, bro, this was acting like he fucking, Jackie Chan over here just fucking fighting throughout the streets. Relax, my guy. And these people aren't gangsters. Gangsters are badass. Be calling people out saying hardcore gangsters, but you're not. Yeah. Not so much that you're considered a square, right? But only, and I find it that it be the ones that try to pretend to be gangster that see it that way, right? Because those are the ones that tend to give the stigma and say the ignorant comments that they say, right? It's always the ones that are non-affiliated, like that motherfuckers, like, they get pong, homie. These homies handle business. Like, hey, you from their neighborhood? Like, nah, but like, I know some of them. Like, bro, look at this one. They ain't even hyping themselves up. Got hype men out here. You literally have hype men out here for these individuals. Like, they're just like doing them, and these fools are hyping them up. Like, bro, these fools ain't even doing that. I have told the story about that, where we had went and we had did something, right? And there was an altercation that had happened, with some individuals, right? And so we handled business, and then we went back to chill in the neighborhood. Everybody was just kicking it. And one of the homies that was with us, he's not gang related or nothing like that. And he was talking about what happened. He was telling, and he was bragging, and he was calling the other guys, weenies and this and that. And it's like, I told him, like, hey, fool, why are you calling them weenies, bro? Like, you acting like if you were out there handling business. You were in the car. You know what I mean? Like, they actually handled business. Like, so how they weenies? They didn't run. They stood right there because they did. I'm not a hater. I give people props when, where props are need to be given. We ran up on them. They didn't run. They handled business. Despite whatever happened in the outcome, they still didn't let themselves. So this was over here calling them bitches and everything. Like, bro, why are you insulting? Like, like, they ain't even here. You know what I mean? Like, you trying to act like if you down and like if you did something. Because we ain't even talking about it that we were actually involved. You know what I mean? But you over here, throwing it out there and acting like if it's something. You know what I mean? You want to know why me and the homies weren't talking about it? Because it already happened. There's no, what are we going to gloat about? There was an altercation. Now we're sore. You know what I mean? Fucking plans were ruined. Even though, we won or whatever. You know what I mean? Nothing to fucking gloat about. But this fool was, he was doing that in his life. And it's like, I'm telling you, bro. And it's like, And he got butthurt, whatever, right? After I just told him, like, you understand that I'm just telling you, for like your own good, bro. Like, because, homies were already starting to get mad. You know what I mean? They're going to eat you up alive because you don't know when to hush it, bro. Because people don't like when people try to pretend to be something that they're not. You know what I mean? Like, don't try to make it seem like it's cool. Because homies don't even make it seem like it's cool. It's always other people that pump this shit up. Like, people be like, all these gang members are the ones that throwing this stuff out there. No, it's not. It's these fucking people that aren't even in gangs that are speaking about these matters. Because they get info however they get the info, right? Maybe they do have connect, whatever. However, they're the ones throwing it out there. So these fools ain't the ones that throwing it, bro. These fools are the ones throwing it out there. So I don't want people to be like, oh, well, they're the ones that are putting it out there. No, they're not. It's these goofballs. You know what I mean? It's like, it's not even that hard to see that shit, bro. But it's like people's ignorance, just because they dislike, individuals, everything, try to be thrown that way. Shit's funny. You find out there's not any. I have. Can't you say happy? Well, happy early birthday, my boy. I hope que te la pases bien. Something funny I seen it in a message. I wasn't. Something funny I seen in a message was I was the influence out there. So, like, you were handling business? Like they said that you were the root of the problem? Any IE Crips coming up? Oh, yeah, especially because they got a lot of Crip sets that are, factors out there in the IE, bro. They hold a dominant presence, bro. And they play a big picture when it comes to the landscape of up there, And it's a trip because normally when people talk about like black neighborhoods, they always refer to like the Los Angeles ones, right? But you have factor sets that are like in the Inland Empire, the Antelope Valley, San Diego, that are big factors in the scenery as well, right? It's always the ones who never felt the pain that... Yes, bro. It's always the people that never been to war, who have never been in combat, that want to keep the combat going, bro. All the ones that be like, fuck the peace, homie. Nah, there's no peace between... Nah, homie should be handling it. They're, like, oh, they're bitches if they put their beefs to the side, or they're pussies because they smash their beef. The people that are saying this, that are critiquing and all that, are people that have never been in combat, that have never been in battles. That's why it's so easy for them to say this and that. Or, nah, that's not really gangster. Real gangster would have handled that. Like, what gang do you belong to? Well, I'm not from no gang, but I know that that's what they'll do. Why? Because you've seen it in a movie? I'm telling you, bro, like, motherfuckers never been in combat, but, the greatest warriors and armies have came to the table to put their differences aside because they get tired of fighting. You get what I'm saying? Eventually, people get tired of the fighting, bro. You know what I mean? Like, to think that smashing a beef is seen as a weak move it's always said by people that have never been in those situations. But yet they want to see it keep going. You want to know why? Because they don't have to be involved, because they're not in the mix. They just want to see the show. They want to be entertained. Well, sorry, we're not here to cater to you. So you can think whatever you want, because guess what? Your views on how it's going is irrelevant, my boy. So therefore, you can feel however you want. Doesn't change how the life goes and how it is in the program. Period. So you may see it as that's not gangster. It don't matter. The real gangsters see it as gangster, and that's what it is, and that's how it's gonna be. You can feel however you want. In your head, you can play out the scenario however you choose. But you will never have a factor in this. You know what I mean? Like, how are you, the non-gang affiliated person, gonna tell the actual gang members what's gangster and what's not gangster? That's like a fan trying to tell a person how to play football, trying to tell an NFL player how to play football, or person trying to tell NBA player how to play basketball. Like, that's not a real basketball player. Like, how are you gonna tell them about the sport that they actually fucking play? Yes, you may know the sport, you may research and be a big fan and know everything about it, but you have never played, you have never been out there. You will never know the feeling of what it is to actually be out there and what it takes. So you can bitch and say this and that all you want. It's not gonna change a damn thing, homie, at the end of the day. Not to be an asshole. Facts. Being a gangster doesn't make you a man. One of the things that I say is, like, people say, what a real G is being a father, is going to work. That's not what a real G is. That's what it is to be responsible, a responsible man. Don't confuse a man for a gangster, something that's negative and something that's, related to crime. Right? Because now you're insulting all the hardworking individuals out there who are not criminals, to be labeling them gangster, because that's something that's criminal and negative. These people are men, responsible men, living right, doing the right thing, as it should. That is what a real man is. Being gangsters, being in the hood and putting in work, that's what a real G is, because that's what gangsters do. So going to work is not gangster, or, this and that, right? Don't confuse being a man as this, right? Because you're insulting every man out there. All the hardworking fathers and individuals out there making it happen. Like, don't do that to them, bro. Like, because you're insulting them, homie. I doubt they want to be considered gangsters. You know what I mean? But like I said, people paint it and I don't know. It's like, I think they've been living in the bubble too long. You know what I mean? All right, ladies and gentlemen, my lunch is over. We got to get back to it. It was good chopping it up with you guys, and we out.